All right. Well, welcome to our Monday night Zoom calls. I'm excited to see you all here. And we have a special guest up in my left-hand corner is Reggie Adams. So Reggie, I welcome you to the call. Before we get started, before I officially introduce her, before she gets going, we love to start out with some victories. So we're going to skip product knowledge and we're going to skip announcements, but we got to do victories. So who has a victory to share? Sheila?
Sure. Oh, I know. I closed out a $1,100 online party this morning.
Wow, that's awesome. That's fantastic. What do you mean, I know? Did you forget about that? We just talked about that this morning.
Right. Well, you put me on the spot. I had to think a second.
Oh my gosh. Does anybody have any questions for Sheila? $1,100 online party.
Way to go, Sheila.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is fantastic.
I have a question. Did you have fun?
Yeah, it was awesome. The host interacted a lot, commented a lot, asked a lot of questions. I think that really made the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome, Sheila. Super fun. Anybody else have a victory? Big or small?
I got Cabo today.
Woo!
You got Cabo today. Yay, Christy! Congratulations. That's
That's gotta
fantastic.
feel good.
Yeah, it's gonna be. You're gonna be so happy when you see those of us going to Xcaret. You'll be like, I'm gonna be at the next one.
Well, I had fun in the Dominican, so I had to go to Cabo because I haven't been to Cabo. So
It's a fun place, Christy. Good for you. That's awesome. Be lots of fun. Last call. Any other victories? Big or small? I know those are big ones. So you're like, can be a smaller one. All right. Well, let's get started then. So I first met Reggie. Reggie lives in Alexandria, but I first met Reggie at a Tastefully Simple. I can see us in that room. Or no, it was at Jill's house. I think it was a diamond retreat. And you know me, I'm like going right up to her. I'm like, hey, you want to do a party? And I didn't waste any time getting to know her because she's super fun, energetic, and she said yes to a party. So not only do I actually coach with her twice a month, or sometimes once a month, depending on my schedule. I've been in her beautiful home in Alexandria, and she hosted a Tastefully Simple party and shared that with her family and friends. So what is her business? So I got to look at this, Reggie, so I officially introduce you. So Reggie Adams is the owner of Reggie's Coaching Academy, which she started 25 years ago. What? 25 years ago. And she's been in the direct sales business for over 30 years. Reggie loves to come alongside entrepreneurs. So she doesn't only coach direct sales, because I did ask her that the last time we talked, and I think Reggie said about, you never really figured it out, but 30 to 40% of your clients are in the direct sales arena. But she said she loves to cheer for and hold accountability so their best lives can be lived. And I agree. And I can tell you lots of things about Reggie, but one thing I'm going to leave with, and I'm going to let her go into the topic, is I always am inspired after talking to Reggie, because she just has a way of bringing things around and going, yes, I'm in the right place at the right time. And I'm very thankful for what I do. So please help me welcome Reggie. And her topic is, it's time for spring cleaning. So welcome to the Dream Achievers team, Reggie.
Dream Achievers. Oh, what a name. What a name. Well, hi, everybody. And you know what? A victory is you figured out how to be on this call tonight. And so great job. And listen, I am really glad that Sherry encourages you to even think about the small victories, because it is the small victories that get us the big victories. So don't minimize those, ladies. And, you know, even like, all the things. And since I'm a part of my coaching is also life coaching, drinking our water every day, these things, wearing our seat belts, every little choice really can be a major wonder. Every positive, healthy choice can really be an amazing victory. So the small ones really, really do count. They add up, and I'm all about the small ones because you know what? I have a client in Arizona. She's selling her house, and today's the only day they're taking offers for her house. And she was going, oh, we only have one. And so I emailed her back and I said, how many do you need? It only takes one to sell your house. Right, guys? So one's a big deal. One's a big deal. And everything starts with one. So don't minimize the little victory or the one. Okay. So let's start out, I didn't even have to think twice about saying yes to this opportunity to chat with you all. Your leader speaks so highly of all of you. And it is just, I couldn't wait to be here tonight. And so I want to start with a question that is kind of a warm up here for all of us. And so if you're on mute, you can quick go off of mute because I would like to do this popcorn style. It's a really simple warm up, which is, what do we look forward to or know about this time of year? Any answer, anybody? I'd love to hear from you.
Camping season.
Yes. Okay. Fantastic.
Warm weather.
Please, please, please. Yes.
School getting out.
Yes. Getting
Yeah.
out. Right. For sure. What else?
Longer days.
Oh, bring the sunshine on.
Oh,
Yes.
look behind
beautiful.
me. Look at that.
Yes, I know. Oh, great. Great. What
Everything
else?
green. Everything
Green. Oh, green. Yes. What else?
Swimming.
Swimming. Fantastic. Yes. What else?
Fire pits. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking summer, right?
Yeah, no, that's great. It's great. Yeah. I happen to be blessed to be on a lake. And so I'm waiting for the ice to go out.
Ugh.
I want it, right? I want to see the water. Okay. So you're getting it here. And we also know about the newness, the freshness, the beginning of right. The beginnings of whatever, flowers, green, longer hours, all these beginnings, and of course, hope. So we would call all this spring, wouldn't we? And yet for those of us in the Midwest, which maybe we have some stragglers not in the Midwest, because this is an amazing, gigantic team all over the place. But for the most part, most of the US, even though the calendar says spring, what are we looking outside and seeing or feeling?
Snow.
Anything but spring. Okay. So, right. We're seeing snow, my lake along the shoreline, it did start thawing and it's refrozen. Yesterday on Easter, I couldn't see across to the other side of the lake. It was snowing that hard and fast. Okay. So we're not seeing spring. All right. But I'm going to share with you tonight two training tidbits, and we're to the first one. And that is this. Write this down, everybody. This is a business and a life tidbit for you. Here we go. We find whatever we are looking for. We find whatever we are looking for. Now, think about this. We would only see winter. We would only see winter outside if we weren't looking for spring. Why, so we see the cold, we see the snow, we feel the wind, we feel the temperature, right? On the surface, we see winter. But if we will pause and look more deeply, right? We got to look more deeply. We really will see signs of spring. What sort of signs of spring have we already seen? If we're pausing to look, what do we know?
I'm a little further south, but we already have dandelions and a tulip.
What? You said dandelions, not daffodils, right?
Yes. I noticed them in my parents' yard when I was there for Easter.
The
The
birds.
robins are back.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris. Yes, even when I was out for my walk and I couldn't hardly see, the snow was coming down, there were robins in people's yards, tons of them. And they were, digging in the snow and they were singing. Yes, we have robins. What else? If we're really looking.
There are baby bunnies that were born in my backyard for the second consecutive year.
It's spring. The bunnies are here. Okay, what else?
Flowers coming up.
Have you started? I've just in one little area, it's either
Tulips,
hostas
yeah.
or something. Yep, can't see it now, but if I went to move the snow. Okay, so you're getting the idea. We have to look for winter. Guess what, everybody? Tastefully simple is like spring. It's an amazing business opportunity. What are you currently seeing in your business? If we looked at your calendar, is it looking more winterish or springish? Right? Are we looking at your reasons why, your whys for growing your business, right? And your reasons to build the business? Or are we seeing excuses? Are we seeing winter? I mean, who wants winter to be over? Yeah, right? We're all, yeah. Okay, and who would like their business to be, blossoming and blooming and yeah, right? And hatching and all the wonderful things. You get the metaphor we're on here today, right? Tonight, I should say. So are we looking for the prospects that we do have? Or are we seeing the no's? Right? Spring is here. Your business is here. Spring is now. The calendar really does say it. And your business is saying now, isn't it? Your business is saying now. Ladies, if you all, I don't know when you all joined, okay, but if you all can make it through a pandemic with your businesses, who's been a consultant for longer than 2.5 years? Oh, and look at you newer people. Great. Awesome. And look at you, pandemic achievers. Look at you, pandemic perseverers. How's that for a title? Okay, guys, if you can do a pandemic, and you might say to me, but Reggie, things were amazing in the pandemic for us. Yeah, I heard. And you still had to make a lot of adjustments and changes. And you still had to really think a lot about how to do all this. And maybe you had to learn new things. Okay. Do you know that probably anything that you do from here on out in your business, do you know it will never be as big or tricky as something you've already done? And the thing that I'm referencing here that you've already done is you made the decision to do the business. Do you know that that is the hardest, biggest thing you'll ever do in this business? I hope that that will be your takeaway. One of the, if you could only take one thing away from this call, that would be enough right there to keep you persevering in the business. Reggie said nothing will ever be as hard as just making that first beginning decision. Okay. And it's the same with any spring cleaning, right? Oh my goodness. The thought of starting it, but once we get going and then we start seeing how wonderful the clean and the decluttered and the dust free, right? Doesn't it feel good? It's the same with our businesses. So how can we step into spring with our businesses? How can we have hope in this time, right? And what do we need to focus on? What do we need to focus on for our spring blossoming in our businesses? And I've got 2 ideas for you. First and foremost, it is our thinking. Where's our thoughts? Where's our thoughts? What kind of garden is growing in the 6 inches between our ears? Is it a beautiful one? Or is it like dandelions and weeds, right? With stinking thinking, okay? And the second thing is, what are we looking for? Here's where this really comes into play. Are we looking for the positive thoughts? Are we looking to see the good that is in the business? That is here for you? We just got done talking about the power of one. If you have one prospect, if you have one show, one host, one customer. Okay. I moved my business when I was in the field with a direct selling company. I moved my business 4 times in like 6 years. And it was to locations where I did not know anybody and I had no family or friends. It started with one person that had invited her friends and family. She wanted a lipstick, you guys. And do you know we still exchange Christmas cards? And that was it, like I don't even want to tell you how long ago that was, okay? I can't even do the math. It was so long ago. Okay. One lipstick is what that started with. She grew my whole business in that particular town. So, all right. It is a practice to think positive. We have to be intentional. It doesn't just happen, you guys. So I don't want you thinking, well, it's my brain. Well, it's because of my past. Well, it's because of my, marriage, or it's because of this big obstacle that's here. No, all of us have to work really hard all the time at thinking positive. And here's why. The brain just goes to the negative automatically, right? And then, there's just a lot of negative around us in the world. And so it's 10 positive statements to overcome every one negative. So that brilliant book for our kiddos and our grandkiddos, the train, I think I can, like, that's brilliant. How are we saying to ourselves, I think I can, I think I can. I can and I will. I can and I will. Are we having 10? When's the last time you had 10 positive statements to overcome the one negative that you may have said about yourself? Because you forgot the salad in the refrigerator. Did anybody else do that this weekend? Oh my goodness. So practicing positivity, that is a skill. I use the word practice. We've got to practice it every single day. A pianist, what is a pianist? Practice the scales. They never outgrow. They never get far away from the basics. We have to practice thinking positive, every single one of us, all the time, every day. Number 2, seeing the good. Okay. If we see what we're looking for, are we looking for good? And so this is the idea of giving yourself 3 to 5 credits every single day. And that is exactly how Sherry started this call. Who's got a victory? So Sherry uses the word victory. I call them credits. As women, we're always hard and harsh on ourselves. We can always do more, right? We can always compare ourselves to someone else and find out that somebody's doing better. But this is a different practice. It's actually where we stop and acknowledge 3 to 5 good things we did in the day. I drank my water. I showed up to the call. I said I was going to make 3 phone calls and I did. I was kind to my husband instead of barking at him when I was tired. Simple little. Because again, the little does make a difference. We eat an elephant 1 bite at a time. Let's start seeing what we want to be. Let's start looking for what we want to see. Guys, we're always seeing, oh, I knew she'd cancel. Oh, I knew I wouldn't get a booking when I did my power hour. Do you know that in my 25 years of coaching, I know that you would rather have 3 names sitting on your desk and not call them. Because just the thought of having 3 names and maybe a maybe feels better to you than calling them and maybe hearing a no. Right? So seeing the good, let's acknowledge the good. And ladies, you know what? Most of us women, we like to control things. It's probably why you became an entrepreneur. which good for you. We want to be in control of our futures and our destinies and our dreams. That's awesome. But a lot of times we actually end up being focused in controlling the things we can't control. When right now, right here, I'm saying to you, focus on what you can. You can control what you're thinking. When you notice there's a negative thought, replace it with a couple positive affirmations, okay? When you're, every day, stop. You know why I say give yourself 3 to 5 credits? Because it's pretty easily we can give ourselves 1 to 2. Well, I got out of bed and I brushed my teeth. Okay. But as women, to stretch for that, 4th one, ooh, that 5th one, we really gotta, okay? And some people will tell me, can you give the same credits 2 days in a row? If you're sincerely acknowledging and going, good for me, and we are being our own cheerleaders, okay, then yes, you can do the same 2 days in a row. But let's, those robins that were in the snow, digging and scratching to eat their Easter banquet, their Easter meal. Look at how they had to work to find the worms. Okay. I think I can. I think I can. I can and I will. I can and I will. Here's tidbit number 2. How we doing, everybody? Nobody's going to sleep, right? Okay, that's why I talk fast. Plus, I got a lot to cram in here in a very short amount of time. But now I need everybody, please know, I'm going to tell you tidbit number 2, but you got to promise me you will not click and leave the call. Everybody promise? Because you might not like this next one. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you for raising your hand. Thank you. Okay. So we're all going to stay. I'm watching all of my squares here. Here's tidbit number 2. We have to practice perseverance. We have to practice perseverance. Now, how many of you, do you remember your grandma? Now, not your mom, but how your grandma used to spring clean? Anybody? And come off mute and let's talk about, how did our grandmas used to spring clean?
She took everything out of the room and would clean it and put it back.
That's right. And so Angie, did that include the curtains or the drapes?
Oh yeah. Curtains, pictures, you had to clean it. Yeah. You
Okay,
clean
what
the
else?
walls.
Yeah.
Everything.
They clean. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. You're getting the picture. Very thorough. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You guys, the other day I was looking at my refrigerator inside. Now, my husband and I have lived in this house for 5 years. Sherry can attest, I'm a super clean person, but I got to tell you, when I really stopped to look at the state of my refrigerator, I was like, how can we live in what? This refrigerator cannot be ours. Okay. We have to, but right. Do we want to spring clean like our grandmas did? What do we do for spring cleaning?
Vacuum. No.
No, listen, I don't want anybody to feel bad about their spring cleaning, but let's just leave it at this. Okay, I got a dirty refrigerator, okay, and we don't do as much as our grandmas. Is that what we can agree on?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay, let's talk about persevering. Spring is trying to persevere despite winter's relentlessness. COVID is continuing to offer up strain after strain, isn't it? It is persevering. And now let's talk about something a little more favorable. How about a tulip bulb? Who planted bulbs in the fall? Anybody? Okay, let's talk about tulip bulbs. First off, if you don't know this, if you're not a gardener, it's totally okay. So I might be busting you on your cleaning and now you're gardening. Wow, this was really inspirational. Okay. What do we do with to get tulips? We have to plant them, don't we? So write the word plant down. We're going to have just 4 key words here. This is going to be so simple to remember for perseverance. Plant. The second word is push. Think about it. Those bulbs have to push through what? 6 to 8 inches of soil. Has to push, has to persevere. Your third key word is the word peek. It peeks through the soil, doesn't it? Oh, we see the little bit of green, that half an inch. There it is. There it is. It peeks through. It makes that final little push through the soil. And the last key word is then it blooms, doesn't it? It grows another 6 to 8, 10 inches. And then there is the gorgeous bloom of whatever color it is, right? Orange, pink, purple, yellow, and we love it. All right, how does this relate to your business? Planted. Let's go back to planted. When you said yes to this opportunity, first off, do you know how cool it is? And I say this sincerely to each one of you. I love direct sales. Your company is even more brilliant. You want to know why? It's food and everybody eats. Your company is so brilliant. You want to know why? It is some of the best gift giving items. You guys, I am so sincere about it. Your spices and the way you can help other people with their gift giving needs, let alone their own fabulous cooking that most people talk about, you know, by the end of the day, they are so tired. They have no energy to think about what to make. And here you guys, you've got the answers for them. It's so cool. And maybe that will be your takeaway, is that this crazy lady was in your ear for 30 minutes tonight, just telling you, really, and as an outside person, kudos to each of you. Kudos to each of you that you saw this opportunity and not only saw it, but said yes to it and are giving it a whirl. Okay. So you're planted. You are planted. Yay. Awesome. All right. Push. What does it mean to push through the soil? What does it mean? Okay. A bulb's got to do it and each of us has to do it. Okay. This is not settling. We don't settle here. Right? You chose Tastefully Simple for something different, something bigger, something better. We've got to push. It is going to look and feel different, you guys, because it's going to give you something different. It'll be worth the push. It will be worth it. And I just don't know what your worth it is. Is that a trip? Is it more flexibility? Is it to be home with your kiddos? Is it to pay for college? I don't know. But we have to do different to get different. Okay. Now, some of your pushing, how many of you have heard this? That a lot of times to get to a yes with a customer, a host, or a potential recruit, it takes us 6 to 7 asks. Now, maybe your ratio is a little lower than that. I'm being really conservative and would rather have a higher number here for you. Maybe yours is a little less, but you've got to push. Now, I'm not saying be pushy, and that's a whole nother training, and you just let Sherry know if you want to do that training. It's not about being pushy, but you guys do have to persevere. So when Sherry's telling you, did you follow up on that? How about telling this person that? It really, because she knows it takes 6 to 7 times before you're going to get a yes. That's not you, okay? And you're doing something wrong. That's not your circle of influence that, you know, doesn't get it. That's what the business is, okay? So push. All right. Let's go to the word peak. So that peak again is when it's just 1 inch above the ground. Okay. But it's not done. It's got to keep growing, doesn't it? And again, it usually 8 to 10 more inches here. And guess what? This is where most of us, we get tired. This is where most of us, we stop just before the victory. We've done the hard work of pushing. It would be like having contractions, but not getting the baby. That's a really weird metaphor, isn't it? But really, do you know that most of you stop just shy of the finish line, just shy of the victory. You just push enough. You probably get to maybe ask number 5. So to be aware of this place for yourself, okay, what you want to do here is just acknowledge maybe what your growing edge is. Oh, to ask them that 5th or 6th or 7th time, yeah, that's my growing edge. I don't know how to quite take that one more little step, that one more little inch that I got to go here. Okay, don't stop. Keep going. This is where the rubber meets the road. How do you keep going? It might be the edge of your comfort zone. Okay. So maybe we can think about this too as like refining or polishing. We just got to do that little extra. Okay. And maybe that takes, I'm sorry. So Sheila was saying that the host was really great. And that she really asked, got her people going and really interacted a lot with her people. Sheila, I love that you're giving your host a lot of credit, but guess what? That didn't happen by accident. I think you probably did some amazing host coaching. So maybe just some of us need to refine. There's a little refining or polishing here in this peaking time. Okay. But like, guys, even ask Sherry, one of my favorite reasons why I love coaching Sherry is she's always open to learning and growing. She's forever tweaking and adjusting. And so we don't be embarrassed. To say, this is my growing edge. This is when a fear pops up, or this is when I stop believing in myself, or this is when it gets hard for me to call the person again. Just own it, everybody. Okay. See it for yourself, so you don't miss out on the victory. All right. I'm going to give you one more metaphor here as we wrap up. Tell me this, when is it hardest to pedal a bike?
Going uphill.
Going uphill for sure. I
When you
think that
first start?
I'm looking maybe for a little different. What else?
When you first start?
That's right.
Mm.
Yeah. When you first get going and it's right, kind of wobbly, and it's not quite fast enough, right? Right.
Mhm.
Remember that. But once you get them going, even if you're going uphill, if you can keep that, because again, sometimes what's happening is we're not being consistent enough to see that victory, and we don't get those pedals at a nice rate, at a nice cadence, to be able to consistently, like, why would we need to have a spring cleaning if we do a pretty good job maintaining our homes all year long? Maybe that I need to heed my own advice about for my refrigerator. Okay, guys. So you know what? I just want to wrap this up with saying, I'm also, and Sherry knows this, I got to even speak at a Tastefully Simple Lead Strong about this. It doesn't even matter. No, I don't want to say that. Here's what I want to say. I have seen people with even less than part-time hours have an amazingly successful direct selling business. You do not have to kill yourself and do this 24/7 or even 40 hours. The key is pick a consistency. Pick 5 hours, 10 hours, ladies. What is the cadence? But what could you maintain from week to week? It's about the consistency and to keep the pedals going. So to Angie's point, if you are stopping and starting your business, that is what is, hurting the positive thinking. and hurting what you're collecting evidence for. This is hard. This doesn't work. I don't have any leads. They're trying to figure out if you're in business or not. Okay? You're trying to figure out if you're in business or not. So we stay consistent with our thinking. We stay consistent with believing and looking for what is good. This product is phenomenal. It is good. Everyone around you eats. Everyone around you would love helpful ideas for simplicity when it comes to decision-making at mealtime. Okay? Everybody's buying gifts around you. You have amazing gifts, ideas for gifts. And perseverance will be easier when we are consistent. So just decide. I know the end of the quarter is coming up on June 30th. We want to try to work quarters. So guys, we have May and June. What do you want to be celebrating? We begin with the end in mind. The end is June 30th. Okay, the end is June 30th. That's when the bloom will happen. What kind of bloom are you wanting? Are you going to be a daffodil? Are you going to be a yellow tulip? Are you going to be a lily? Do you know? Just what would you want to be celebrating on June 30th? Okay. And then what is the monthly activity for May and June for you to push and peak? What is the monthly activity for May and June for the pushing and the peaking so that June 30th you can bloom? Will you please email Sherry by noon on Wednesday? So I'm leaving you with an action step here. And that is to really think about what is that consistent monthly activity? That you would really like your cadence, your rhythm to be. Okay, so there can be some serious celebrating on June 30th. And so, yeah, action steps. It's all about action, right? Set yourself up. What is the action? And I'll leave it at that for you, okay? And there's only one excuse acceptable for not spring cleaning. Working our businesses.
Thank you.
How about that, everybody?
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you, Reggie. This is awesome. And I can't wait to hear from all of you. I put my email in the bottom. So again, you're going to email me what you want to celebrate and what is your monthly activity to make that happen. So thank you, Reggie. Awesome.
Thank
Anybody
you.
want to add a kudos or anything for Reggie?
Thank you so much. That was what I needed to hear. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And guys, please now, if it's kind of tricky to break down that monthly activity, I mean, Sherry would love nothing more than, first of all, to hear from you. And second of all, if that's your growing edge on how to break it down, okay, great. Just ask her. Help me know how to break this down. Okay. It's because you can't do what you don't know what to do. So please, everybody's learning. This is a great season to be growing. This is a great season to be. So just don't be shy to ask.
I would love it. You can't be outside, so why not work your business? You can't, right?
And you know what? Maybe it would be fun. Maybe it would be fun if you all took a picture before Wednesday too of some spring that you did see. Maybe you cleaned out your refrigerator and you want to take a picture of your refrigerator being cleaned. Maybe you have, I bought tulips. I've got tulips in my house, you know, maybe Sheila, we saw the sun in the back of Sheila's before it set there. Take a picture. And so again, here, you know, here's my spring. I was looking, I saw good today. Yeah. And even that, you guys, how do you give yourself those 3 to 5 credits? you know, cadence with that. Consistency with, oh, when's the best time for me to do that? In the morning for the day before, in the evening for the current day, like trying that out and practicing it. Oh my goodness. Okay, come south. Where is south?
I'm sorry. It's just like the South Dakota, Nebraska border, but I had to make y'all feel a little bad.
It's gonna be 84.
Oh, we're happy for you.
84. And we actually had an 84, like, what day was that, Christy? It got up to 80 about a few days ago. But we've had no rain or moisture since like June. So
Oh,
we're
no.
yeah. So I know it sucks to get all the snow, but man,
We'll send you some snow.
there you go.
problem.
Take
I
it.
wish
We
we
have
could,
plenty.
right?
I know.
We would take it.
Yeah, it's kind of bad. So